Hey everyone, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning in to what's going to be my April beauty favorites video. I don't have a whole lot of new stuff to talk about, but definitely have some noteworthy items. Dallas is here for it. This is like the first time he's ever been in a background, been able to be in a background because there was like a day bed back there. His favorite blankie's over there, so I think that's really what he's here for, but he's here for it nonetheless. If this is your first time here on the channel, first of all, welcome. Thanks so much for taking the time to click in and tune in. If you like what you see, be sure and hit the subscribe button so you become a part of the Bailey Bunch. Let's go ahead and dive into some favorites. First, let's cover the usual suspects, right? Like nothing has changed with my base for the most part. Concealer and powder, always, since I got them. Recently talked about the Tarte Shape Tape in the overhyped video where I talk about a lot of like Kylie Cosmetics and the Morphe 350 palette. This guy was included in here. Naturally, I find it very worth the hype because I've been using it ever since I got it. And then to set that, I will go in with the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana. I've been putting a solid dent in that guy here. For the foundation though, I've really been loving the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. Longtime viewers will know that I was an early bandwagoner with this guy, have absolutely loved it, more so than the liquid foundation. For some reason, it just so flatters my skin, really provides full coverage, but still looks like second skin. Maybe it was around the time, this happened with a couple products, my favorites actually, where I forgot to include them in my Sephora VIB recommendations video. And when I saw other people talking about them, I thought, duh, how could I not? What? Where was my head at? So I think somebody mentioned this and I realized what a fool I was and got back to using it. This is all I have left, guys, and this is like my second stick, at least my second stick of this. Really can't stop wearing it, except speaking of Sephora VIB hauls, I recently got the Natasha Denona Foundation X Full Coverage Foundation, and this is what I am wearing today with a little mixture of a lightening thing that I got in a separate Ulta purchase when they were having their Platinum 20% off sale. But for about the last week of April, I have been wearing this, and so far, good things, but I do want to do a separate Sephora VIB haul with reviews and all that kind of stuff. So look for a video coming up pretty shortly on that, but this is what I am wearing today in case you're wondering. Speaking of those products that I totally spaced on when it came to my Sephora VIB recommendations, this guy. How could I not have remembered this? The Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Absolutely love. This might be one of my all-time favorite palettes, period. Whether you like colors, neutrals, no matter what. I love this for the rich variety of the neutrals over here, but then you also get these beautiful berries, which some people find a little intimidating, but something about the way they're paired in this palette just makes them very wearable, despite the fact that you're staring down a couple of pretty bold berries in here. Just love it, and the shadow quality is amazing. I'm wearing Raw Sienna in my crease today. That is just, I mean, a pretty perfect kind of cooler toned crease shade as opposed to burnt orange. And then I'm wearing Cypress Umber, which is this deep dark chocolate brown on my outer corner. And then to add that pop of shimmer metallic goodness across the lid, I am wearing another favorite, which is the Butter London Glazin Eye Gloss. And this is in the shade Moonshine. It's one of the new shades to come out, and I recently reviewed all of the new shades. Moonshine, I think it's Mermaid, and then Icing, which is kind of a frostier pink champagne shade. I really, really love these guys. I've been wearing them pretty equally. A lot of you have asked me what I've been wearing in videos. It's been these because they're such one and done. As you can see, they're super high shine, very metallic, and as you build them, they just become so multifaceted to where I've just been wearing this and a matte shadow in my crease, and it looks like I'm wearing so much more across my lid. It's one of those one and done shadows that makes it look like you put way more effort into your work, which I am all about. So really like these, and I have a full review of these, so I'm not going to talk too much about them here. Go check that out if you're interested in learning more, but they have this weird jelly texture that I was a little skeptical about when I first tried them, but totally pans out. Trust me on this. It's such a fun, awesome product. Last for the eyes is the mascara. Nothing new here either. This is the Sephora Lash Craft Length and Volume Mascara. Finally about the full size in the Sephora VIB sale. And what's interesting though, I still like the way it performs, but has anyone ever encountered this where you have, the first one I had was this tiny sample thing that I got in my Play by Sephora box, right? So I used it, I loved it, stretched it out over 2 months, and then finally the Sephora VIB sale hit and I was like, mine. So it arrived and I found the formula has a different texture. It's a little bit, I don't know if thinner is the right word, but it doesn't quite grip onto the brush like it did when I had the smaller tube. So I'm wondering if maybe, you know how how when you pack a brush in here, if all the product gets packed to the bottom, and the reason that the smaller version picked up so much more product is because you can really get down in there and just pull all that product at the bottom out. I don't know. What do you think? Do you know what it is? Let me know in the comments below, but I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed, honestly, that it didn't quite do for my lashes what it did when I first tried it from the sample tube. So I do think they make a smaller tube. I was kind of surprised when I was going to purchase this, they had 2 different sizes, so maybe the smaller tube is the trick, but I just never had that happen before. So yeah, let me know in the comments. For my brows, I've really been liking 2 new products from Makeup Forever. Haven't done a video on these yet, but let me know if these look like something that interests you. Let me know and I will soon, shortly. So first is the brow liner, which is very unique. I've never seen anything quite like this, and it is this little, it looks like it could be a liquid liner. It comes with a short, stubby felt tip brush, felt tip applicator, and then you can hear there's a liquid in here that you have to shake to kind of mix the pigment with the medium. You bring it out and you apply it through your brows, and it's this very thin liquid that you can almost apply like a liquid eyeliner, and it helps you achieve those really precise hair-like looking strokes throughout your brows. I find this is great for me to really build volume and help define that shape, especially over here on my arch where the shape is there. It just isn't quite a defined edge, especially up top, and I don't want it to look like a super harsh edge, so this helps me define that without looking too drawn on browsy, if that makes sense. However, the shade here is a little bit too gray. This is shade 20, and the shade for me is a little bit too grayy, taupey, little too cool for my brows, but the next shade up, which is 30, I'm sure, 25 or 30, is too warm and chestnut, like deep, warm chestnut brown for my brows, which is kind of odd. I need like a deeper, cooler shade that doesn't look too harsh against my skin. So I do go over top with this brow gel, and this is 35, but still not too deep, dark, or warm for me. And what I like about this is it's not just a tinted brow gel. You really could use this if you don't need a lot of definition. You could use this to not only set your brows, but also fill them in because it's a fibrous gel. And the brush itself is interesting in that it has pretty much short bristles all the way around, so you can really pack on the product on your brows. But then once you want to distribute it and kind of comb those brow fibers through the rest of your brows, there is a tapered section here where it goes from very short to very long on the end to really help you do that and kind of distribute and even out that product across the brows. So together, these have kind of been my brow dream team. They last all day, they create a natural looking brow, and I just really like them. And last up are is that really last? Have we really already come to, we have already come to the end of the favorites. This, I feel like is a short one this month, but I do feel like I've been talking for forever. Oh well. So for the lips, I have really been liking this Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask, and I got this it feels like almost a year ago through Influenster. I had reviewed the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche through them, and then ultimately ended up like winning this badge or however that process works. And so I got sent this for free from them as a follow-up to that. And it has taken me forever. I use this pretty frequently. I've been hitting it pretty hard through the month of April just because for some reason, probably allergies and taking decongestants and stuff, my skin and lips especially have been very dried out. And so when I just need like an overnight kind of lip mask type thing to put a surge of hydration into my lips, this is what I will reach for. But it's beautifully tinted. Like you can see, this is the only thing I'm wearing on my lips right now, and it has this beautiful rosy tint. So on some days, in fact, most days, I will prep my lips with this before or as I'm getting ready, and then I just like the way it looks with the rest of my look, and so I'll go, and that'll be that. And it's super easy to throw in your purse and super easy to apply. The one thing I do wish is that they had an applicator to go with it, because it is very thick and you have to apply it with your fingers. So I find that I apply it and then I have this stuff left on my finger, you have to wipe it off, and it stays a pretty long time. Like it really creates a nice barrier across your lips, but as a result it's kind of harder to get off everything else. So that's kind of a bummer, but not enough of one to keep me from using it all the freaking time. So that's great. But when I'm not wearing that, or once I've done that while I'm getting ready and I let that sink in and I want to throw something in my purse on the go to kind of give a more polished look, I reach for some of my new favorites, and that is the Smashbox Liquid Pigments and Liquid Metals collection. I did a full-on swatch of, they sent me the whole collection, so I did a swatcherooski of all of them. But ooh, I have a pattern. These are the 3 lips I've really been liking for the month. One is Pink Drank. It's kind of a, not quite baby, I think it's a little bit more grown up than a baby pink, but still a light pink. Then Mauve Wife is a little bit deeper, a little bit smokier, dustier, like it better for the afternoon, evening time. and I have really been loving Mauve Squad, which is the metallic pink version. I never thought I'd be a metallic person. I always thought kind of, you know, being a kid, middle schooler in the 90s, I was over frost, I was over metallic, but this took me back. This took me back and I don't mind being there. So yeah, I have really been in fact, let's go ahead and apply one. Let's do, what would go today? Let's do Mauve Squad. Ooh, yes. I just continue to be shocked by how flattering these are on the lips, and maybe it's because coming from the, you know, middle school Bailey who was first trying out frosty lipsticks and they were a little bit more matte and therefore hella unflattering on the lips. These look flattering, they feel super comfortable, they give a good amount of slip to the lips, they don't dry them out, they last a surprising amount of time given that they're pretty high shine gloss sort of situation. Yeah, really, really like them. So go check out that video if you want to see full swatches, if you're curious about specific shades, because I found some of the descriptions, especially on like sites like Sephora, to not quite match what I thought they looked like in person. So if you're curious about any of them, go check that video out. So with all that said, I think we are done with this month's favorites. Anything to add? I'm looking at you. Nothing. He's the silent type. All right, so that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd love to know what your favorites have been over the past month, week, whatever, just things that you're currently loving right now, beauty or otherwise. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.